Gun 11 personnel, 24 read option is the play. Vigil is eyeing the running back during the inside zone mesh. Vanette down block, so he feels it to come in for the tackle. Gun 11 personnel, 23 inside zone is the play. Vigil is in a 10 shade. His footwork is correct. He shuffles laterally, reading Carson's movement identically. He does a good job of not overrunning, and he stops on a dime to redirect for the tackle. Gun 10 personnel, 48 zone RPO is the play. Vigil is in a 10 shade. He's keying Carson's movement. His footwork is decent. He shuffles, eats the grass to close the space, and comes under control to get a tackle on Carson. Base tackle in 11 personnel, 26 zone is the play call. Vigil is in the 60 shade. His footwork is clean. He shuffles. He gets his hands ready to strike. Posic to escape to keep his hands free, and he works over the top for a tackle in the backfield. Gun 11 personnel, halfback draws the play. Vigil is in a double A gap mug. His footwork isn't the sharpest naturally because of Connor's play steps. However, Vigil is savvy enough to sniff out the draw. This is an effort play, nothing less, nothing more. Gun 11 personnel, 35 power is to play. Vigil is keying Samuel's footwork, which is counter steps. He does a good job of trusting his eyes. Once he knows his counter, he does a beautiful job of staying low and not overrunning because he knows he has Williams in the outside gap to scrape underneath for the tackle. Base 12 personnel, 35 split divide zone is the play with Washington kicking out the E mode, which happens to be Vigil on a D gap blitz, and the basic kick out block by Washington, boom, right there, pretty much ran Vigil into the tackle. Gun 11 personnel, 47 zone divide read is a play. Vigil is in the 10 shade. He's keying Hill's movement, which is laterally, so he knows this play is coming, and he just turns on the turbo button and shoots into the moving A gap to make a tackle. This is something that you can't teach right here. Base 22 personnel, 35 trap lead is the play. Vigil is in the 10 shade. He's keying Tubbs' feet movement. Vigil recognizes it's a power and does a good job of not panicking and overrunning it with his footwork because he knows he has a defender outside for the help. Now he just shuffles, and now he shoots it. Gun 11 personnel, 35 counter with the tags of the center and play side guard pulling. Vigil is in the 30 shade. He knows the play was coming and immediately scrapes over and underneath the kick out block of the pulling center. Plays like this is something that coaches just get a pecker on when they see it. Base 20 personnel, 22 lead zone is the play. Vigil is keying White's movement. Vigil footwork is clean. He shuffles, bows up in Lacoste's chest to make sure he doesn't get kicked out of the B gap. That forces White to make a decision, and he runs right into him for the tackle. Gun 11 personnel, play action pass is the concept. Vigil is sent on a strong side A gap blitz to the right of the screen. He's intelligent enough to know that he's not going to get there, so he just sits into the throwing lane of Fitzpatrick for the PBU. Base 12 personnel, play action pass is the concept. Vigil eye is on the running back for his run pass key. He almost gets caught up in the mess because he eyed Chubbs too long. It then turns into man versus Njoku on the dig. Although he was trailing, he was in good position between him and the ball, and he fights through the hands to come down with a what do you know? INT. Good job, man. Gun 11 personnel, play action pass is the concept. Vigil is the hook to zone curl dropper. He stays in the throwing lanes of Baker Mayfield and almost comes down with an interception like last play, but the Butterfingers got the best of him. Gun 10 personnel, running back screen is a play. Vigil is running a Mike Plus strong side A gap blitz with the nose stunning into the minus A gap blitz, which causes Rudolph to release the ball out early for the incompletion. Base 12 unbalanced personnel, 48 zone is the play. Vigil is in a 0 shade, which means that he's heads up. He's eyeing the key of Jacob's movement. He gets cut blocked by Hudson because he didn't shoot his hands to create separation like the drill coaches do every day. However, he gets up and pursues to the football, and boom, what do you know? When you run to the football, players, usually good things happen, and this is another example of that being the case. Empty personnel, the Bengals are in their version of a linebacker 50 eagle front. Vigil is taking 2 hard steps, faking upward as if he's rushing it, then he's dropping back into the middle of the zone. It's a good play call by the Bengals to give Goff a different look, and Vigil almost comes down with the INT. Gun 11 personnel, hoop motion. Vigil is in a 30 shade. He's the zone flat to curl dropper. It wasn't anything special that he did in particular on this play, but he did make an emphasis to try to get his hand in there while he was making a tackle, and he comes down with a forced fumble. It's your boy Coach Norris here, finishing up with another video. If you love my content, please subscribe and donate if possible. I will be scaling my show to have future NFL draft picks and draft picks on the show so they can break down the film for themselves. Follow me on all of my social media platforms: Twitter, TheCoachVI, Instagram, TTG for real. If you need work done, email me, ttgproductions@yahoo.com, and I always keep that thing on my hip. I'm talking about my phone. That's my number. You can hit me. And I just relaunched my merchandise line. That's ttgmerch.com. That's ttgmerch.com. Go support, please.